wanted to have a quick chat and check into the twin flame path. Now, I'm going to be live on Friday and we are going to be giving these psychic updates, which I have been getting a lot. It's so funny, since the moon in Cancer, I do find that for me, I have been getting a lot more downloads. Now, the moon in Cancer for all twins can be an emotional portal, but it is something where we are faced with a few challenges. So emotionally speaking, you might be looking at something and feeling that you're going into old habits at the moment. And the one thing I was really getting, which I am calling those of you that are twin flames who are in union to touch base with me, because I'm going to be doing a free webinar. So I'm inviting those that are directly already in a twin flame connection. I am noticing those that are in the connection, throat chakra almost went, there's a change happening, okay? So it's so we can actually mull over that circumstance ourselves and directly check in with why it's coming up. For some, what I am sensing is there's an old pattern coming up, and that is collectively what is happening. For many twins that are already in union, what you tend to find is you don't see the number synchronicities anymore. But what I have noticed in a synchronistic pattern, initially when you go into union, you both will continue to see the number synchronicities. And so the pattern, so to speak, can be there for a little bit, but then it can subside, and then you tend to be in alignment and you're actually quite balanced. For others that have been in the twin flame path for quite a while, we stop seeing the number synchronicities because we directly do become the numbers. So for those of you on the twin flame path, if you are in union already, touch base with me, connect with me via the website. I'm going to be hosting a Skype meeting. I'm also going to record it, and then I will directly share it to YouTube after, and it's going to be us having a conversation piece inside our twin flame path of what we directly have experienced, and really working through the reasons why I potentially feel there is a bit of a shift happening. So any of you, the offer is directly below. Just go to the website and touch base with me, and we can connect in there. The synchronicities that are happening at the moment is this can be an emotional portal, and it's not that we're directly going backwards, but psychologically and emotionally we can. So we can be revisiting old patterns, we can be revisiting old wounds. It is that we directly are moving forward, but we have to face our shadow in that fact, and there can be some changes happening. Our value systems can change. Some of our roles inside of life are changing. So I definitely have been seeing a lot of the fives at the moment, and I really hate the fives. So I think in one message that it is coming through for the collective of the twin flames, and again, most of these messages were showing me that 2021 and 2020, it's like what we weren't able to achieve then in 2022 is when we are achieving it. So in order to get some of those things on the go, fives are to do with upheaval, change. It can be change your career suddenly. It might be moving in that correct direction and having that change. And change is challenging. So I do feel for many of us, from a spiritual point of view, to get that balance back, is we are implementing things that we learned over the last 18 months in 2022. The other thing is we need to be careful with our health, our well-being, and our nervous system with the North Node in Taurus. We can find in the next 2 weeks, especially moving into Mercury retrograde, we've still got Venus in shadow till about the 29th, I believe, and Venus will be in the house of Capricorn until March, that we're almost like a circus clown. We're juggling quite a bit. We can be getting frustrated and feeling we're not going to have success, but we also can be feeling that there is a lot going on around us. Now, I did go through it in the Members Hub, so if you want to know per zodiac sign what is coming up, be it you're a twin flame or you're not, in the first level, we did record a video that does discuss those aspects of each zodiac sign. I am going to be future tense really releasing content on the website free of charge as well as paid. Currently I have the freebie members hub, and I have given you a bit of an intro into what the premium membership is going to be for the zodiacs and how it's actually going to be templated out. So if you do want to go and have a look at that, again, the link is directly below. The benefit of it inside your twin flame path, and these are some questions I've had through my website, and directly connected to the subscriptions that are going to be launched in this 2022 is how can it benefit me? So from my experience over the 25 years on Twin Flame Path was ascension. It's also that I am going to be developing tools inside your zodiac signs. You can look at sun, moon, and rising. It's not your trivial zodiac sign. It's covering anything to ascension, the meditation that you would need for your zodiac sign at that time, your diet, your health, your nutrition, your emotional energies, your connections, be it single or coupled. And separately, I will be launching a twin flame hub as well. But you more than likely need to look at the star signs from a point of view of your ascension, the portals, and how you can use them. And then simultaneously, I do have webinars that I'm really doing on the very important aspects that can affect us inside our twin flame path. So we have the Lionsgate portal. We've got Valentine's Day coming up. I have a webinar for that. Halloween. So we're connecting into both the 3D and the 5D with these circumstances to try and get the best out of it. So at the moment, I would say for the feminines, I'm going to be recording your zodiac sign, well, the feminines today, as well as the karmics and the masculines, live on Friday at 7 a.m. Green Mention time, which I've really done a whole year's worth of posts to give you guys the community tab. So you will need to click the bell, go back, redo the settings. It's Mercury retrograde. It's always really important to go and redo those settings. And mini reads will come up this year inside the community tab as well. So always make sure that you actually read the posts. I do change them from time to time, and I have actually automated it where the time zone changes are coming out with daylight savings. I'm changing it in the time frame so that it suits as many viewers as possible. So I try to keep you in the loop about a month ahead of time when that shift is coming and what time I directly will be coming live to you. Now, during the silly season each year, it will be to the point you'll still get your content, but they will be premiered. And that is so that I can directly prepare content, get more done. I still do coaching during those times. So if it is that you're wanting weekly coaching, we can organise that. And we have the webinars, and then we've got the private bookings. I am going to be putting up a sale today, and that is only because I know as we move into this Mercury retrograde, we're going to be getting communication with twins. We may have challenges with how to directly communicate with them, or we could feel as though at the moment that we are hitting a stumbling block and getting to the point we don't know what to do with the circumstance. So I'll have a quick chat to those of you in the room. Anything that you're directly been dealing with at the moment that has been affecting your twin flame path. So I've got the karmic to do. Karmic week. This is going to be hell for karmics. This can be very interesting and a make or break with the twins. And karmic can be a person, place, or thing. Definitely from a structured point of view, we are restructuring and we can be going in different directions, or we can really be alchemizing those things in our own lives at the moment. Psychic attacks and ascension directly connected to your twin can be extremely high at the minute. Really good time to clear the energy in your home. Keep your fluid up. Your lower chakras are quite activated, but you're going to get a lot more headaches, a lot more throat chakra going on. We could be rushing. It is going to become more busy as we move into Mercury retrograde, and it can get very frustrating. So it could be that you're getting abrupt, especially after we had the full moon in Cancer. Yeah, it's the third eye because we're tuning into something. We're trying to understand. You're going to get a lot of psychic downloads. Neptune is the bringer of truth. And so we did have Neptune and Pisces going direct. Hi, beautiful. And then we have Jupiter in Pisces. So we're kind of balancing like the scales at the moment. The last 18 months energy, we're taking that and we're making something with it. Then with Neptune and Pisces, we're looking at our life and we're going, okay, what do I realistically know? And we have to remember we're two energies. We're spiritual energy and we are the 3D energy of a human being. So there are the things that we need to do in the 3D and we're going to be looking at them really realistically. And then there's the energy attribute of things on the manifestation level. And manifestation is that of what you believe you are. So it's directly what you are in a frequency sense, sensing. I touched base with this beautiful energy on Facebook. You know, she's never really had readings from me. And she was saying, what is the biggest issue you know, for an empath? And I said, healthy boundaries. And she touched base with me. She goes, I'm just the worst at that. And so we had a candid conversation for an hour free of charge. And I said, look, this is the time frame in which twins are going to be coming back. We need to understand we're revisiting the circumstances. She said, funny you said that. Yes, they have. Pardon me, talking so fast. And she mentioned that the healthy boundary was a huge issue, and that actually dealing with that and the psychic attacks, which is what I've been saying to you guys for a long time, is the reason it becomes so heavy because you need to directly block it out. And so some YouTubers will do a lot of readings and they'll talk about this path, which, yes, I do the readings, but I also try to give you the tools as much as possible from my experience being in union and being on the path for over 25 years. So it's not where it's a reading and we're saying, hey, what's happening with them? You know, the further into the journey you get, you actually realize it's so much more. Hey, beautiful Eddie. So it's directly what you are physically needing to heal, to change, to get success. And so on this channel, it's not just the cookie cutter readings. I mean, yes, we do want to know. We have this huge vibe where we say to ourselves, gee, you know, I have this connection with this person and it's really high and I'm trying to understand it. That process is something that we're personally going through. On this channel, because of my experience, because of my twin flame path, what I try to do is to bring the information of experience to you to change that. So your ascension prior to reunion is hell on earth. It's you feel like you can't function effectively. I remember saying to a couple of you guys, it was like you felt like you had to become a Buddhist monk. And it's funny, we have Jupiter and Pisces, we're revisiting that, so it's taking me back to my journey of 2017 where things were really popping off. We had Chiron and Pisces, we were facing our shadows, our habits, we're revisiting that now, and it's amplified. So be it you are in no communication, all waves of twins now are going through a massive acceleration. Usually you'll go through it before the collective, and it will kind of accelerate harder as you get closer on that path. So the things that you're needing to achieve, it's pushing you towards them. You may be looking at something right now in your life, and you have to understand in the twin flame path, sometimes we're so looking at a reading and we're not understanding that the whole key to the journey is understanding how this whole situation works. So I did a little exercise inside the Twin Flame Members Hub, and we talked about doing the mirror work, doing the actual yin to the yang, and, you know, cutting a page in half and really writing down everything you thought that person had to do. And so these are the things that I used to do to help me when I was stuck and the doors were closed and they weren't moving. And it's like, okay, what do I believe at the moment this person needs to level up, and what do I feel they need to do? And the funny thing was, when I returned to that table and actually looked at those energies, there were things that I had been avoiding and I needed to address. So when you start shifting that and you start working on that, you find the energy of ascension dissipates, so it calms down. Usually if you guys are really down, 2 weeks later, the masculines are. I do feel and predict that in the next 2 weeks, they are going to get a little bit ratty. They could feel very nervous system orientated, where they're really stuck, they're mulling over something and bang, they just make a decision. But this transit, they've already gone through an 18-month transit, which was Hades. And some of that circumstance, 100%, if I'm honest with you, through astrology, it was preventing them from having success. So even if they had the best of intentions, it was almost like universe was forcing them to stay in this mental prison to prevent them from moving forward, so that they could re-look at circumstances in their life, look at their value systems, North Node, Gemini, to transform them. So it was really where they were stuck quite locally. They were stuck in direct situations. It could have been a karmic relationship. And now where they're moving towards is spiritual liberation. So there can be a lot of emotions coming up, a lot of old habits with Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Some of you, again, if you're having this benchmark of, hey, I've waited centuries, our healing, we can even be frustrated at ourselves from a healing point of view of when is our healing going to be done. So if we can look at that polarity and understand, hey, we hate on ourselves sometimes, and we say, why haven't I fixed myself? Why haven't I got over this? They too experience that exact dynamic and frustrations of why we self-sabotage, why we push away the one thing that we really love. And it is a very personal transformation. There were times where I had coaches working on me and we were doing the mirror work. And I was talking to a beautiful soul friend, Jen, who was there, with me from the beginning, and she helped me look at the mirror work. And it was funny, we were regressing back over this time, and she was really saying, do you remember when we used to do the mirror work? And I got very cross with her one day, and I did realize there's a time and a place for it. So when something happens, it's, unless you're really ascended, it's very hard to actually look at that wound. And generally it's because the cut's fresh, and you need to take a minute, so it's okay to do that. But if it is an old wound, it is definitely time for the mirror work. It's time to look at that shadow. It's time to move into that problem, and not avoid it, because the Neptune and Pisces is like the writing's going to be on the wall. Gentleman on Instagram said to me yesterday, he was talking about his business, and he said he was really frustrated at the fact that he kept getting the same cake in his life. And I said, generally it's because we feel that we gave our love to one energy, and because we haven't directly healed from that, we're trying to go and rebake the same cake, but it never can be. And that's really what the Divine Masculine had gone through. They were trying to repair and make that old story a new story, and it just wasn't fitting, the Cinderella effect. So now there's that spiritual acceptance of that, and they're accepting the new vibration of who they are. They know they can't. It's the inner piece of it. But it's also, we are in the 3D as well, so there's things that need to be shifted about in order to achieve that. That can be letting somebody down, that can be leaving a job, it may be moving away from maybe a role that they're playing within a family, and that can be quite tumultuous to deal with. But it's a I just keep seeing the Wheel of Fortune, and that's for all of us at the moment. We're entering this new cycle, but in order to have that new cycle, there are going to be some steps we do need to directly take for this. But old energies are coming up, so a lot of shadow work. Very intentional. Some of you, if you are a twin and you chose a soulmate energy, you may even be revisiting that connection at the moment and saying, I don't think I resonate with this person. And that can be because you are seeing maybe prejudice coming through in that person. It may be that you're looking at it and that's the old version of who you used to be. And that can be quite a scary experience when you're going through that, because you did very intentionally choose it. You weren't going into it with a negative sense of not wanting to be in it, but it can be that the polarities of their vibration is just not directly matching with you at the moment. So that can be a bit of a scary portal, and that's for masculines or feminine. So when we do tend to do the karmic reads, I read them quite fluidly in the context of whom is with this person and how it can be playing out, which we will channel those energies on Friday. When I'm live, and then we'll do super chats on that occasion after. Any questions? Gabbling on quite a bit. So I'm seeing the fives, which, and again, I did mention I had a channeling the other day, and it was directly linked to, for some reason, it was almost like I looked at this post and it was this weirdest occasion. It was like 2021, what are you talking about? That was 3 years ago. And it was like I was taken through this portal and I was shown something, and it was like it was this time. It was like I timeline jumped, and it was like I was already in 2024 and I was looking back to 2020, 2021, and it felt like it was 20 years ago. So I do feel this year is going to go really, really quickly, and I think we need to really brace ourselves, but you won't recognize 2021. Whoever you are right now, you are not going to recognize it by the end of the year. I do think it's really going to show you what you're made of, especially because we are in the year of the white tiger. And moving through, it's best not to create angst with other people. At the moment, there can be a lot of separation between the collective. It can be one on one side of the fence, one on the other, perpetrator victim consciousness. I really talked a lot about the trauma bonding that was coming through, and it's funny, we can look at therapy sessions and there's that code of conduct. We can look at our tribe and pack mentality, and a lot of empaths tend to feel like they're the black sheep of the family. What I'm seeing at the moment is it's almost like we want to belong. But we also need to, after we've moved away from that North Node in Gemini, also belong to our own energy. You can feel in your nervous system at the moment, especially for feminines, very anxious. Again, it's finding healthy ways to deal with that ascension, which is what the subscription hub is going to be on my website. It's going to talk about your chakra systems, your ascension symptoms, how to navigate those things, when the best time is, when the hard time is. And I'm going to try and really fill that up in a toolkit, in a sense, to help you actually navigate through the month by month. So at the moment, because we have the base chakra, it's Venus, but it's stability. We also have the third eye at the moment. A lot of headaches, neck aches, bones. Things to do with our pets can be coming up at the moment, so we do need to take extra care. Pets also can lower the stress levels, but we also need to care for them too. It's as we get, we give, and we need to keep that chi energy going, but there can be subjects to do with pets. I would be super cautious when you're walking, because there can be a lot more animal attacks this year. That's because Jupiter is in the house of Pisces, and so you need to be actually very aware of your surroundings. And being aware that that is a possibility. Hi, sweet. What's the other thing? We are in a vibration 6. You got to work hard. You know, you got to work hard. The song that came to mind, which I mentioned on Facebook and Instagram, I'm going to mention it here. It's the Britney Spears. You want a hot body? You better work. Okay? Whatever it is you're wanting, Neptune is saying, okay, there is the destination. You can see it in front of you. Be it it's your twin flame path, be it it's you guys go back into, a lot of you can be moving into the portal of reaching reunion. But first, the way it's going to play out is you reach closure inside yourself. And so it will start to feel really strange. You could get a bit scared. You might get to a point you feel that it wasn't real. Where have these ascension symptoms gone? They're completely gone. I'm not feeling anything. I'm not seeing the numbers. At one point, it'll be like you want a restraining order against them, and then they just stop because you've become the crystal. And that's the same as you move into reunion. A lot of you may initially see them, but the key is, if you keep seeing them, what you need to do is you need to integrate. It's actually showing an out of alignment energy that still requires integration. When you stop seeing them, it's showing you're in alignment and you're focused on your side of the fence. And you will need to know that when you do go back into it, you can't be codependent. And it doesn't mean that it won't function like a traditional relationship. It means if you have attachment and angst, and it constantly comes up and the control polarities coming up, you're out of alignment. And if you're seeing the numbers, move back and do that work on that. So you still can function effectively within it, but it is showing a problem point. So it needs to be addressed inside the connection. Now, Hayley, I did reach out to your mum because I want to have a chat to her. So her and I are in union, right? And we both weren't seeing the numbers, and the numbers have come back for us. So I already had some psychic messages. So I'm calling upon those that are in union, and we're going to have a Skype chat free of charge, and I'm going to record it and I'm going to chuck it on YouTube. So something has shifted inside these circumstances. And I feel for most is that we're starting, this new chapter's come up, but it's very different. So I feel this is really important for those that are actually going into union. I mean, I've been in union now for, and I try not to tag it, because I think the further into my journey I've got, I don't really tag things. I just call it energy. So I don't really use the term twin flame. The number synchronicities, I became the numbers, I became the crystal. I know how to clear my energy. I know how to control my ascension symptoms. So it's just a different level. I don't set intentions, I receive. So it's, you know, my girlfriend did a mini reading for me, which I had no attachment to last night. It was like, whatever comes out, comes out. That's the message. And before she pulled the card out, I said mermaid. And sure enough, she turned the card over, mermaid. And the second card she pulled, which I knew exactly what the card was meaning, the second one she pulled out was about setting intentions. And I think Giggle and I were discussing this. I think unless we've walked a mile in someone's shoes, we don't actually understand where they are. We don't, and it's not that we're better than somebody. It's just an experience that we directly have. So from my experience over the 25 years on my path of my awakening, I don't manifest. I know that everything that I need, I will get. I know that every experience, I have the spiritual tools intact. Don't really say, it's different. It's hard to explain unless you've moved through that portal, but it's very matter of fact, like you're in the matrix, you're not off the matrix. So the way we deal with those circumstances is very, very different. So I do feel most of you that are moving through this portal can get a bit triggered at the moment. The other thing is, like I said, I'm going to put the offer out there for those of you who are in union to come through and have a chat with me. Separately, I will put that up on YouTube once I've recorded it. And also I'll put a sale up because as we move into Mercury retrograde, I feel some of us are really going to need that support. You'll tend to move into complete acceptance. It will feel really bloody strange. It'll feel like, oh, you know, I just love the starfish, and I just love the ocean. You could start glowing. You could just feel, you know, somebody could come up to you and go, I'm sorry I played that love song. And you're like, no, it's a really nice love song. It'd just be like nothing affects you. It's really strange. It kind of looks like you're on some substance. It just does. And you'll just be really grateful for the lessons you learned. You won't get angsted, you won't get upset or stressed, you won't be like, oh my gosh, it's never going to happen. You kind of psychotically know it will, you don't know. If it does, it does. If it doesn't, it just won't define you. It'll be the strangest experience. You may also go through a few weeks where you feel that it just wasn't even real. It was a codependent cycle. And then you'll look back on the journey and you realize, no, in fact, it's not. So, synchronicities. Tune into what you need to get into alignment with. If you already knew it and you see the numbers, be cross at yourself, do something about it. Because it's usually saying to you, well, we've been telling you, you've been asking us for help, we've been giving you these numbers, but you haven't actually done anything about it. And that's why we keep smashing you with these numbers, because this is the solution. Ask and you shall receive, but then it's the 3D element of what we directly need to do. So if we're in avoidance of that, you know how it happens, guys. It's the 3 rules of the universe. The universe is going to give you the signs. You psychologically knew already, and then bang, you get the near miss of, okay, this could go wrong, right? And then the third is, well, we're going to force your hand, and that is the way it's happening. So it's never that we actually are behind. I'll be cussy. It's like you get bitch slapped. So if you're not leveling up, if you're doing the wrong things, it's going to hurt you. It's going to affect you. And then you've got more schoolwork and you're doing the cramming. So you don't want to do that to yourself. I always promote really moving into the situation, not moving away from it. Okay? And I know because I've been on the journey 25 years. It happened to me many times. I'd manifest horrible things. I was like, I can't manifest. And I was like, you've been manifesting all the time because your intuition, your ego directly connected to your emotional response towards it, you have a fear. So if you're afraid of anything, go and address that right now because you don't want to re-manifest that. Is it that your person is going to end up with someone else? Is it that they're going to get married? Is it that they're going to have kids? Is it that they're going to pass away? Whatever that is, face that shadow. Live with it, sit with it, digest it, and then spit it out. It's not real. Because you will co-create that reality inside your connection. If you are feeling, again, why do we always get the 5D? Because spiritually speaking, it's in its purest form in the 5D. But your belief system is that it can never exist in the 3D. And that is a belief system you are holding, so you are alchemizing that. If you think, I'm trying to hold on, you might hear what you're saying, Abraham Hicks. I'm almost given up. I've given up. It's a lie. You haven't given up because you're still talking about it. Don't lie to yourself. I'm angry today. That's fine. I feel frustrated. Cool. Listen to what you are saying. Really, like I said in the Members Hub, journal. Really important to journal right now. You then can go back and you can look at where you're at and go, right, I'm honoring my soul now. I wrote that. I have to listen to myself. Is there something I want to do? Is there something I feel? What can I do to do those things? What can I do right now within my control? If something is happening outside of your control, don't tune into it. Tune out. Release the steering wheel. It's not your role to change it. Is it happening on your side of the fence? If it is, go sort that. And so it's like this avoidance we have of ourselves because we feel everything that we need is outside of ourselves, and it's actually happening inside, but we're coming outside and dealing with it. Does that make sense? So spiritually, remember, in a twin flame path, this used to baffle me. You're always one. How? Yeah, you are. Because you're the yin to the yang. So some of you, the first message I got this morning was, but we don't know what our twin's doing because we can't see them. You know how you can know? You look at your side of the path and go, what the heck am I doing? That's how you know what your twin's doing. Are you struggling with starting a foundation? Is it directly towards healing that you're directly going through? You guys are the yin to the yang. One will be happening on the 3D. One will be happening emotionally. Yin to the yang. You don't need to completely know. Doing the shadow work and doing the mirror work can help you. Do you know what I mean? So with the readings that I do on YouTube, they're not just a channeled message. I will use my experience to give you some tips on how to break that pattern so that you can have that success to move forward, because all of us can have success. It's energy. Any questions? I'll take a few super chats if anyone wants to. Otherwise, I'll hit the road and I'll get these Twin Flames updates done. I'll open the computer and I'll put the sale back up so any of you that need it, you can grab it. It'll be for 24 hours only. And you can book it in February if you want, I don't care. Yeah, and then we will be live Friday. Anyone want to super chat while I'm here, or am I hitting the road? I hope this has helped, but any of you that, if you are a twin flame and you're in reunion union, give me a call, touch base with me on the website. Come through, we'll do the webinar. Others of you, the sale will be up on the website, and I have the freebie membership there for your zodiac signs. Go have a look at what the subscription is going to look like. What else do I need to tell you? Live on Friday, and if you want to have a look at how the I did a mini update this morning, thanks Giggle, inside of the members hub. I did put the premiere out because I'm putting premieres, and then mid-month I'll jump in and we'll have a chat. What I've done is gone through every zodiac sign and discussed the astrology aspects. So you can get that for $11. Okay, if you jump in, you can have a quick look. You don't have to be there at the end of the month. You can leave if you want. But it's got all those videos, and they're really talking about how that directly is going to impact you. I was going to come live, which I am here now. But yeah, I happen to do it in there, so there's no point double handling, so to speak. You know, what would you like to know? Let's see what's happening for you. You're going to hear from your sister. First thing I heard. Hi. She popped into my head. I don't know what it is. I don't think it's bad. Yeah, interesting. That's the first thing I heard. The one that starts with M. Please tell me they don't both start with M. Thanks, Eddie. I was just telling Eddie on Instagram how much I valued him. I value all my moderators. Thank you very much. You make my life so much easier. I deeply appreciate you guys. Where would I be without you, honestly? Oh, Giggle. Okay, you're like, look, you're going to reap what you sow. I don't know where you're at, girl, but it's got this funny energy. I feel you're actually going to get your blessings. It is closer than you think, but I'm hearing humble pie, but I'm not getting this as a bad thing, okay? I kind of feel as though it might have been really up and down, very anxious, but I feel you're just being really realistic. It's not, you might jump into anger for a little bit and then up and down. It's going to pass, it will dissipate, but I do feel on the other side of it, you're going to be so grinning. It's like somebody, you know, smiling after they've received their victory. That's how it's coming through to me. So I think whatever you're doing in your life, I do think that you're looking at what you want to achieve future tense. This can be a goal. but you're looking at it really critically. It's like make or break time in your mind. So I feel no matter what, you know you're going to be happy, but I do think because you're embodying that energy, as long as you do keep grounded through it, I kind of feel you'll get communication. I just get this picture of, it's like the inner child of creativity and the kind of smirkiness that we get when we achieve something, and then it's like we're kind of grinning, we're laughing, but it's kind of a cheeky, sadistic kind of laugh. It's a chuckle. So it's almost like the analogy I'm getting is the karmic's going to eat humble pie. So I don't know why that's coming through, but you're going to be happy that you have done the work on yourself. That's really what's coming through. But I think, to me, I'm getting success. I'm getting the feeling of success. Who's next? Oh, Stella. Stella, what's going on, darling? Oh, Steph, Mercury retrograde and you're moving. Shit. It feels cheeky, Giggle. It does feel cheeky. Okay. Who have I got? I've forgotten Stella. Stella. Okay, I'm getting the term, you're unsure about your job. You're wavering. Your vibration is actually increasing, like it is getting better, Stella. The silence would have been there. Like I said, I was not feeling, many of us would, well, I'm in union, but from a psychic point of view, I wasn't really feeling a lot of Venus retrograde was going to have communication. Because we were checking our values. We were revisiting things, right? I'm feeling it's more during Mercury retrograde. It's decision time. Okay, so I feel it's more coming through now. It is ghostly silent. The masculines were in the South Node for 18 months. I mean, that's like putting a person in prison. Psychologically, collectively, we feel that. So why wouldn't we understand that they felt that? Yes. Okay. You are coming out of a mental prison, but it's if you have been embodying this vibration that you're stuck. Okay, let me rephrase. Like I said, do the mirror work. If you have been believing they are stuck in a karmic relationship, it is the belief you hold inside your own life and it's holding you stagnant. So have a look at it. I do feel both of you are going through that quiet time because you're directly connecting on your place in the map. Once you realize that that is not true, that both parties are free to make choices and it matches, I feel the blockage will be removed. But that is the blockage at the minute. Okay? But both of you are free. Do you know what I mean? Who have I got? Leo next. Relationship. What's going on? You said you gave up. I'm liking my subbies that are here. If you're new and you're jumping in, we become a family here. So, I'm not laughing at Leo next. I'm laughing because I've walked a mile in her shoes. And a statement she made was, look, I've just given up. Like it's over. It's never really over. Katy Perry. Tell you she's a twin. Well, okay, you're a Leo, right? You're a Leo. Most of us, we're facing the shadow, moon in Cancer, so that we can be ready to have success. So it's like I said, Stella, when we face it and we don't go, look, the impossible is possible, it is, but it's going to mean something needs to happen. Once we can address that, that's when we get movement. I remember years and years ago, I had to say to myself, okay, if I'm in a karmic relationship, my twin is not going to say to me, hey, you need to leave that. And even if he did, I'd be going, you can go, what it, because it's your energy. So still, we have to make decisions that are best for us. But I feel at the moment for you, Leo, next, yours is coming through where you emotionally are feeling that you're ready. The thing is, you need to be ready, and this is more a warning than a greatness, okay? It's not that it won't be great, and I remember last year I said this to you. Anyone who's a Leo, Mercury retrograde is happening in the house of Aquarius. That is your relationship sector. You're going to be looking at your job. You're going to want to throw the baby out with the bathwater. You're going to be looking at your love life and going, oh my gosh, Venus and shadow, it's not working. If we're saying, where is it? Where is it? If we actually look at our reality in our life, are we actually ready? What is it psychologically that if that person turned up right now, are you actually ready? Are you ready to pack the bag and go? Or are you thinking X, Y, and Z hasn't been achieved? So whatever those things are, it is not because they are not ready. It is because you both are matching and there is something in your life that is holding you back. Is it location? Is it what you feel your role is? Is it a karmic partnership? And the karmic doesn't have to be a love interest relationship. It could be our children and something that we feel they need to achieve first. Whatever it is. Your relationship sector at the moment, you can have communication, so be ready, it's saying. And it's also a revisit to these things. Initially, it can look a little bit toxic, but you can mull through it, relate to it differently, and you'll get a better outcome. But expect to get communication during this time. And instead of looking at and operating from the wound in that communication, operate from a point of view of, what are they actually saying here? Am I allowing this trigger to affect me? Am I actually listening? Or am I reenacting a wound when I am creating that communication? I hope that makes sense. So what you're hearing, like you could tell me, for instance, a statement that was made, and while you're in that vibration of that emotion in your twin flame path, you get the sputum out. You're like, you did this to me and I did this to you and this is how it makes me feel. That's your wound. Okay, nobody can actually technically see it. It's happening all up in here, right? And in the meantime, we are more dealing with things from a trigger point of view than actually having an effective conversation. Divine masculine can be all up over here of everything that they didn't do and everything you didn't do. And meanwhile, you're trying to achieve a common target here. You're trying to open the communication and create a safe space. Hear it out. Listen to what they're saying because you will be able to see the lie. And the lie doesn't have to be a bad thing. So it might have been they're saying, hey, I'm going to fly the country, I'm going to leave, I'm going to do this and that. And meanwhile, they're talking to you and trying to trigger you. And you go, okay, then I'll believe you. You get my point. Okay? So you need to be able to call things bluff where they're bluff and not take it personal. Steph, what zodiacs? Oh, research clue. Tell me something I need to know. You know what? Your energy's like, you know what? Is anything going to be good? I feel you're good. I do feel you're good. But I kind of feel you're bored. Bored. You're like, I don't want to do this anymore. But it's with everything. It's not with one thing. Do you know what I mean? It's like just you know? Food don't taste that good. No, your communication won't be the same. It's giving you an opportunity to go into it. What I was meaning is, with that communication, if I look at it, that person's not going to be triggering you if they didn't care. So you have to look at the poker face, Leonix. I'm tired of the journey. Let go. Stop looking at it as a job. Honestly. Not that I'm religious. Jesus, take the way I'm spiritual. Let go of it as a job. Rest if you need to. Try not to think of tomorrow. If there's something you need to do, obviously do it. But it's just like, you know what I mean? That's where you're at. Your aura's really good. You probably don't feel good, but in the next few weeks, I guarantee you're going to be a lot higher in vibration than you currently are right now. Trust me on this. Because your aura, the vibes that are coming, you're tired. You need to let go. It's the emotions. And I think it's horrible because we're like, oh my God, is this, this journey's killing me. And it's like, well, don't let it. Just whatever the old is that comes up. And it's funny, I feel that person really close to you. You could be getting some of their ascension, but I feel it's because you've outgrown the old that you're looking at it like it might be, oh, I've got to, you know, because there's this notion where we're trying to work with energy, but we're also trying to work out how we actually do those things. So I'm kind of getting that you've maybe viewed something recently and you're just not seeing it as a doable situation. Let go of that. I knew he was going to call me. My poor twin. I told him I was live this morning. I'm still live now and it's almost lunchtime. So I'll have to call him back. So let's get a card for you. I just feel this person really close. You're tired. You feel a bit of their ascension symptoms, but I feel this person's really close. The chemistry between you is insane. I would say give it about 3 days max. Something's going to shift. But at the moment, you're kind of like, look, I'm not going to do this pattern. I don't want to stay in stagnation. You're feeling it's stagnant. Once you psychologically let go, I feel that's when it's directly manifesting. But it's like, emotionally, if you're tired, it's going to pass. If you're in that mud spot, it's more than likely because we had that moon in Cancer, plus we had the transits the last 18 months. So it's not a permanency. It is going to pass. Just be open to that actually changing, because you can be a bit moody at the moment. You're like, no, I'm going to miss you up. I hope that helped. Who am I at? Now, Steph. Okay. Hi, YILDIZ. Which place should I choose? The one I'm leaving or the one I'm going to? Thanks. Should I stay or should I go? Okay, where are you going? I should know these things. Look, Mercury retrograde is a time to reflect upon it. Cool. You're going to be okay. I've got a good feeling for you. So in a sense of moving, okay, who's this person around you I can see? This is for the person that asked the question, is it Phoenix? The person that was asking about moving. You know, thinking in names and channeling is 2 different things. It's like I'm all over here and then I've got to come back down to reality. I've got to stay up there. Why am I seeing a blonde individual? There is a blonde male. Who is this blonde male? As for movement, what zodiac are you? I can probably give you a few more tips connected to your zodiac, but what I'm saying is this male energy. I feel I'm hearing the term you're stuck in between a rock and a hard place. It might be locational related because you feel subconsciously if you're in that location, it's going to give you more benefits. Write down the pros and cons. From a movement point of view, if you were applying for houses, so to speak, mid-month, I'd wait midway through Mercury retrograde to put applications out, and then you're going to have more offers in that location. Okay, so I'm seeing that is an option for you, but at the moment I don't feel you want to leave your location. I feel you're still holding angst and it's something that's directly protecting you, but you can feel directly that you are feeling as though the egg is cracking and you're outgrowing it. Okay, there you go. So it is that there's movement, but it's, you know, it's a hard one. During Mercury retrograde, if you're signing a contract, it's really not the best time. It can be that things just don't go according to plan. Now, are we talking about a home or a job? Both temporary. What, in an accommodation sense? There is the one that I'm seeing, and this can be associated to a male energy. Now, this could be a friend, this could have been a romantic connection, or this could have been a twin flame, but I'm seeing a blonde male. This could even be the energy of a friend, but whoever this person is, the location of the thing that you're looking at is close by to that. That's what I'm seeing. That's what they're showing me. Okay? So that's what's coming through at the moment. As long as you're not running, like if you feel energetically that that's over, that's fine. If you feel you're ready to shred it and cut it and, you know, you're moving forward, that's fine. Do such. If it's destiny, universe is going to open those doors. But if you're running from a circumstance and not effectively cutting that cycle out or learning something from it, which is, you know, universe is a bit sucky, they'll block you. I'm not signing a contract which is better energetically. Home. Then it's your choice. But for some reason, there's something to do with that individual you're meant to address, okay? Because they're showing that's on the forefront of your mind. And that's going to be some of the surrounding energies. That's about the best way I can describe it. It's like your soul is still directly in that bubble. And it's knowing it's outgrowing it, but there's something you need to look at. And I feel if you do, you're moving down a smoother path, but there is something of a soul contract between you and this individual at the moment. It's got nothing to do with better. It's to do with what is universe going to give you and what are they going to give permission to. At the moment, what my guides are showing me is that there is a karmic situation you need to deal with this individual. And they're not mentioning anything to do with the houses. They're saying the solution to it is dealing with this issue, with this person, and then the doors will open. Okay, that's what they're showing me. I'll pull a card. Yeah, there is an emotional issue to do with that circumstance. Once it's addressed, you'll have closure and then doors will open. There's not one that is better or safer. They're saying both's fine. But at the moment, there's an emotion that needs dealing with. I do feel there can be values that are coming up that are really opposite. One is costing more than the other. That's what they're saying to me. Well, this could be a person that lives next door, but there is a blonde male directly connected to this situation. So it could be that the person who is leasing the premises is a blonde male. I don't question my guides. If they're showing me a person, this is what they're showing me. So there is a blonde male linked to a situation. This can either be signing, you know, when we say signing, you are agreeing to a contract. Moving into that contract, there is a connection to a male energy that has mousy brown blonde hair. This can be a person that you're meeting. I do feel there's a romantic connection coming in, but I also feel there is a cycle that you need to deal with this old person so that can be so. But there's something that needs sorting with this individual. If you're currently living with one, that person, whoever that person is, it needs to be fixed. That's the joy of channeling. It will make sense when it's ready to evolve. But there's no... Like I said, this is the shittiest time to move. I mean, you're better off to wait till March. Your mind will be clearer. You're trying to do something during a Mercury retrograde. It's not meant to happen during Mercury retrograde. You're meant to reflect, right? That's why when we're pushing those things, it's like, no, stop. We're meant to sit in an energy to find complete reality than to do such. So it causes more complications. Who's next? Any kind of movement. January 28th. Well, I think that's when we have Venus direct. Lois. You can't make this up, Lois. It's like trust your instincts. In relation to your twin, I don't know, I get this vibe that something's going to shock you. Something's going to, like, you know, you're going to get quite, it could be something that has surprised you in the last week. So I'm getting for you, Lois, it's almost like intuitively you need to trust your instincts. You have thought about going back to work. I feel like what have you been thinking about messaging them again? Because I kind of get that you're feeling something's going down in the connection. But you do have various offers here. There are various offers around the table directly linking to you. I'm getting this vibe that it's either instinctually that you feel maybe this person is staying due to cash, maybe they're very happy with what they're doing, they've made their bed, they're stuck in it. But I also feel that there can be something going down that during the week you may channel in a psychic message. And you may feel this urgency to really reach out and communicate. I mean, it's not that it's bad to communicate. If you're feeling, if you want to chuck an inbox email or something like that and say, hey, you know, I got this vibe, I'm hoping you're well, take care. You can leave it at that. That's an olive leaf. What they do with that's perfectly up to them. But I do feel you're psychologically shifting, especially inside your energy. But you're kind of on the fence at the moment. You're coming to terms with things, but there is an opportunity for a connection there, okay? And that's the reason why psychically I think the challenge is coming from your twin, is the fact that you're saying, look, I'm really getting ready to have a relationship. And I think you could be maybe tuning into those things. Some of it may be that the people you're looking at, you just have no resonance with them whatsoever. Others of it is like, okay, would I be happy being alone? I feel you're neither here nor there completely. You do actually want to share your time with somebody in your life. But there's boredom and stagnancy. I do feel, you know, how are you feeling on the opposite side of retirement? You know, are you looking at it and going, hey, is this great? Have I given myself enough time now? Am I actually taking time for myself and enjoying that? I feel a loved one that passed over. This could have been a previous connection. I feel they're going to give you a psychic message. There could be soul healing relating to that circumstance. It's like they're trying to give you a message. There's somebody that you loved that has passed over. They're going to come into your dreams, and I feel they're going to give you a message. Now, this could come through in a sign or a synchronicity, but I feel it's more a dream. It's asking you to pause with these connections. Even if they are soulmate energies, pause. Don't go into them just, you know, too quickly. It's better at the moment during Mercury retrograde to deal with old energies than new energies just yet. And you're also looking at a business venture. I get this candid feeling. It's so funny. I'm actually seeing like this road. So wherever your twin is, I see them actually, I think they've had a dispute with the Karmic, and I feel they're walking on this road. It looks like a country road. It's dark. I can see huge trees, and I feel they're walking down this road, and it's like they're just fed up. Spiritually, it can be, or metaphorically. So it depends on, again, when I'm channeling a person's head, it ain't supposed to make sense to me. I just tell you what I'm saying. It's funny because I can smell the air, so I think it is physical. It's like, you know, it's almost like when you've had this sigh, you're away from the negativity. They feel they've walked a long road. You're not the problem. Okay, that's what they want you to know. You're not the problem. It's not that they don't want that. You're not the problem. One clarifier. What are they going to do about it? They've seen the truth. Like, they already know the truth. So it's the... they've had enough time to sit in the witch's cauldron to know what is correct for them, if that makes sense. Yeah. They had enough garbage. I don't know. It just feels that once they decide to do that, they will be willing to walk through the dark. All right. They do feel, even if they have to do that alone, they will do that. You're giving them the courage to deal with it. But I get this vibe that, yes, there is a possibility you could hear from them, but the other possibility is you could potentially feel the energy. While you're considering two paths, generally you won't get communication. If you accepted a path and you're about to walk into it, then you're going to get communication, and that's the way it goes. But it's more than likely, if you are getting communication, and you had considered like a soulmate energy, it's probably more than likely the reason it comes in is because you weren't 100% on them anyway. And that's why the connection comes back. They're asking you to honor what your truth is. So if it's your complete truth, you'll have movement and things will flow and you won't have that angst with twin flame. If it's not in alignment for you and you're ignoring your feelings and you're ignoring your truth, you'll get two coming in at the same time and that'll be a shit show. I'm just saying. Who's next? Sophia. What do you want to know? Energy uptime. That's okay. Okay, Sophia. This is a very weird message. Okay, do you have children, Sophia? Hi, lovely. Do you have kids? I feel there's a group of people around you. Bloody computer. Does your twin have kids? What? Who are these kids? They could be related to your family. There's someone you're sticking up with. Look, it could directly be, but I've been dreaming. Huh. Yeah, it's like kids are coming up. It's like, are you concerned about them? Sometimes when it comes up in a dream and they are 3D people, it may be that they are directly thinking of you. And again, we're moving into Mercury retrograde. So psychically, if you've had this urgency, if you are allowed to contact those people, go contact them because it's usually that they're needing a little bit of support. If that allows, or they could be sending you channeled messages, okay? So, you know, that's a channeled message, right? Separately, I feel that your work life is changing. If you're not working, something to do with your career, your work, it's changing. I feel you're very different to how you used to be. I do see a conflict coming up. This could be with an individual. I feel that you could potentially be having a fight with somebody. But this isn't that you're starting it. This is that you're ending it. You're putting your foot down. It's like, don't mess with me. Somebody's crossed you or they're going to try and cross you. I don't feel it's in a dangerous way. It's just a lippy way. You know, it's like a verbal kind of giving you sass. And I think you're really cutting it down. So whoever this person is, if they try to do that, I don't think they quite understand what they're in for. Because you're coming to the table very, look, I look after me. I keep to my own lane. Back off. If you don't, I will put you in your place. You will protect anyone, okay? There could be a circumstance at the moment with your love interest that they are protecting an innocent situation. It's funny because you might have done shadow work on your inner child, but I don't feel the energy I'm channeling at the moment is more than likely you on the other side of that portal. I don't think you're going to feel that way for long. So if you have been feeling down, I don't see that it's going to stay that way for very long. I kind of think it's changing. But I do feel you're very direct with, you know, what you're dealing with. There's been conflict with us for a month. Yeah. So with the Venus retrograde, it has, and it usually does bring it up more so, but it's about ironing the creases out. You'll find probably in the next, week, 2 weeks, it's going to start, it brings it up into the open. And there are things that have already been there, and they're like, okay, can I, on my side of the fence, iron this situation out? I think we need to understand in that communication sense, and this is the advice coming from the cards, is, okay, we want to move from point A to point B, right? When we're in the wound and we're discussing things that are shitting us, we're feeling vulnerable. If you want to have that change, a healthy boundary doesn't mean fighting. A healthy boundary can be, This try and speak from your point of view, and then they can repeat whatever they feel. Do you know what I mean? I feel this person feels nervous. I feel that this person feels that you are blocking them out. I'm just hearing this as like they could feel criticized. They could feel criticized. Okay. Did you guys want to get married? Or was that person married before? One of you. Something to do with marriage here. Is it to do with reconciliation? How much they gave to another person over you? What is the subject coming up? Because I've got the marriage card in reverse relating to this person feeling vulnerable. There could be a person that they directly were linked to previously and they're giving too much time. It could be a family member. And you're pissed. There you go. So what is with this person at the moment that is coming up? Because it's been shown that it's coming up. And you're like, I went through this last week emotionally. When we go back, it doesn't matter if you're in the couple or you're not, or that it's energy. The astrology is showing we're going back over old ground. So when you have that experience and you're aware of it inside the astrology and you have the psychic energy, you can go, right, what the heck is going on? He still has trauma relating to the breakup. In what way? So have you been helping this person heal? Okay, so it's the glass half full. Trust issues. So is it projected towards you? Breaking habits and patterns inside of connections. When the person is feeling vulnerable and scared, you can say, I am not her. I am not that person. We can talk about these things. So it could be something as simple as you're wearing a short skirt and the person's going, where are you going? What are you doing? You can look at the person, you can calm it down and say, I'll be with you in a moment. And it's creating those healthy boundaries, which is a course I'm going to be doing on the website. What is the major thing that is causing angst inside this connection? I mean, because people can have emotions, and at the moment the astrology is bringing it up. But I'm kind of seeing that it's like you're coming through fiercely, like you're actually shitting me. Do you know what I mean? That's how it's coming through. You've got to create a safe space in order to talk about these things. Now, if you're trying to fix them, don't waste your time. Because the funny thing is, if you want to get that person out of that paradigm, the easiest way to do it is to ignore it. Sounds crazy. It's like if you're focused on that, you're focusing on it like a repair. It's not like go renovate a car. So much more fun. You can give it a bloody overhaul. But when it comes to the things that you don't say to a masculine at the moment, especially in a twin flame path, if they were open to counselling, they'd say so, okay? It's like saying to a masculine, we need to talk. I mean, as soon as they hear that, I make a joke about it. You can't really go to the table with that. Well, you can, but you're probably not going to. You're going to get ghosted. You're going to get deadly silence. I gave my twin shit the other day. It was like, what, don't you want to talk about it? Where are you going? You going again, are you? In jokes, because we joke with each other. So what I'm seeing here at the moment is you need to create a safe space for the conversation. Now, if you're scared or worried that this person's got a hang up on this other individual and they're projecting towards you, if the attention is all up in their head and they're doing other things, I tell you, if you shift your energy onto your super ignoring it and doing things and socializing and doing the things that you need and you're paying no attention, bang, the attention's back on you. But you've got to use that power correctly. And try not to feel it won't change. There is a bit of a portal at the moment there coming to terms. So this person is never going back to that person. I'll tell you that now. It's so yesterday. But while you're fearing it, you're feeling kind of that you're either trying to walk in another person's shoes and be perfect. You don't have to be. But I'm seeing some sense of a conversation where you're going, look, we need to talk about this. But I do see that coming up. I do feel a little dissipate. But I mean, if they want to talk about it, let them open the subject. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Let them open up. If they cross you and you're going to say something, you can lay the boundary down and go, look, this is frustrating me. I need to take the trash out. Do you know what I mean? And I don't mean them. I mean, you know, I'm not doing anything wrong. What's going on here? Do you get what I'm saying? Was that? That's okay. Was that the last one for the day? The night, wherever you are? Yes, it is. Okay, I hope this has helped. I mean, I'll put a sale up once I've got off here. So anyone who wants to make a booking, if you're having issues with your twin flame, if you're in your twin flame connection and, you know, you want to come and join our freebie Skype webinar that we're going to record and share on YouTube, if you want to be part of that, come through to the website and touch base. I'll put the sale up and I'll see you on Friday. Okay? Thank you, moderators. I love you to bits, so I couldn't do it without you. And thanks for those of you in the house. I appreciate you. See you soon.